You can actually double your prices and have your customers thank you. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to double or even triple your prices and still have your customers thank you for doing that. Hey, it's Wayne, founder of Ugly Mug Marketing and author of Full Circle Marketing. And in this video, I'm super excited to share with you how to drastically raise your prices and not lose your customers, but actually have them thank you for doing it. And I learned this, what's crazy is I learned this from a billionaire. That's right, a billionaire with a B. And once I saw this and once it was explained to me, my mind was completely blown because it goes against everything that we've been taught. And yet it's so counterintuitive, right? When we see this and when you understand this, it's going to transform the way you look at your business, the way you think about your business. It enabled us at Ugly Mug Marketing to go from selling $300, $400, and $500 websites. That's where we started, to selling $30, $40, $50 plus $1,000 websites. Now, if you build websites, for example, you know that it's not that much more complex to build a cheap website than it is to build a super expensive website. So what made the difference? What made the difference from us selling $100 projects to selling tens of thousands of dollars worth of web projects, and in the process still have our customers love us and thank us and just be so excited to share with other people about our company? What is that? So let me share this formula with you. Now, again, this is something that once you understand, it's going to change the way you think about business altogether. So this is your pricing model, and let me walk you through what this triangle means here. So this pricing model works like this. Over on this side is the cost. So this is your cost to produce whatever it is that you do. So if you build websites, for example, this is your team's cost, your designers, your coders, this may be your office space, it may be the computers, whatever all of those things are that you have to incur, the cost you have to incur to build the website. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna draw a line here. This right here in the middle is the price that we're gonna charge, the price that we're gonna charge for the thing that we do. So for you, what is that price that you're charging? In this middle is the seller's profit. So this is your profit margin. And typically this number is rewarded based on how well you orchestrate all of the pieces and all of the components that go into producing whatever it is that you produce. So in a website's example, if you have a really great sales process, you have a great sales team, you have a great design team, a great coding team, you're adding a lot of value here so you can have a decent profit margin here. And so that creates the price. Now, the price here and this line over here, this is the value on this side that the customer actually receives from the thing that they're buying, right? So there's always this gap between the price and the value they receive. And there's always room here for the buyer to make a profit. So you think about it, when someone buys a website for whatever the price point is, there's more value for them in having that website. So in other words, if they pay $10,000 for a website, in their head, they have to believe that the website is going to be of more value than the $10,000 they pulled out of their bank account and handed you. So that is where they're making their profit on that transaction. Now, I realize this can be a little complex, but here's what I want you to understand. The way that you've been pricing your business services or the products that you sell probably works off of this. So in other words, you sit down and you say, okay, it's gonna be cost times a multiple, right? So it's cost times 2 or cost times 4, or whatever that may be. And that's gonna then determine the price that you're selling your products for. Now, the problem with that is we're not taking into account the most important thing, and that is the value that our clients receive. So here's the formula that you have to understand. Whenever we have very little value created, very little profit created for our clients, that leaves little room for profit for us. You see, these two sides of the triangle always have to match. They're always follow each other. So the bigger this one gets, the bigger this one gets. The smaller this one gets, the smaller this one gets. So here's what's interesting. Same exact thing happens here, but if we start over here, and we understand the value that we create for our clients, then we can determine the price that we should charge for our goods and services. So think about it this way. If we build a website that is $10,000 and it's gonna produce for them $1 million in revenue, think how massive the space is here, right? There's a massive space here. So chances are we can have a massive space here, right? So if we're only charging $10,000 for a website that's gonna produce $1 million in revenue, our prices are way too low. On the other hand, if we're charging $10,000 for a website and they're only gonna make maybe $15,000 off that website, right? We're back over here with these small margins, right? These small areas for us to profit and for them to profit. So when you think about your products or services, when you think about pricing, you have to factor in, how can we increase the value, the distance between the price that they pay and the value they receive for our services? Don't start on this side of the equation, right? Because your costs are going to be relatively consistent. Now, they're going to vary based on the size of the project and all that kind of stuff, or the complexity of the product you're building, but this is the key. We're going to start with the value we can create from them. We're going to engineer into our product. Back over here, we're going to engineer value maximization for our clients. And when you do this, this price will go from here to way over here, right? We'll be able to charge drastically more, because what we are understanding is, what do they truly value? So when you think about your clients and when you think about your business, here's what you have to remember. When we're going to increase our prices, the way we must communicate those changes to our clients is through this lens. It's not, hey, we need to increase our prices. It's, hey, we are adding additional value for you. Here's how we're doing that, because we understand what's valuable to you. When you follow this formula, you will be able to charge 2, 3, 4, maybe 10 times as much as you're charging today for doing virtually the same thing. The difference is, from a psychological perspective, you're no longer selling just a product or service. You are selling something that is going to deliver immense value for your prospective customers. And when you do that, you will scale, you will win, your margins will increase. So if this was helpful to you, be sure to follow for more. I've got more great content coming your way soon.